It's that awkward time of year, innit, where season's finished and we're all just looking for something football-wise to entertain us. But fear not. And the excitement comes from looking at next season, doesn't it? Because everybody gets a bit excited. Everybody thinks, oh, maybe we'll push on next year and get promoted. But I'm here to tell you that you won't. You will finish mid-table and you will be disappointed again. Let's have a look through 3 leagues, Championship League 1 and 2, and have a look at the big lads. Who's going to be fighting for promotion or fighting for playoffs in these 3 leagues? And we'll start with the best league in the world at Championship. Blackburn, no chance. Bristol Rovers, no chance. They're both in the ass category. Burnley will be challenging for autos, even without company. They'll find another manager that plays similar stuff. It's really not hard anymore. You could look in Dog and Duck League. You will find someone that plays this style of football. So it's inevitable they'll get someone else that plays similar stuff, and they'll be right up there because they've got a top Championship squad. And rightfully so. They will be after top 2. Cardiff, ass. Coventry, this might be a little bit rogue. I genuinely think auto chaser for Coventry. Their squad is up there as one at best. I'm not bothered what anybody says. Mark Robins is a good manager. But it took Man United to extra time and he should have won in FA Cup at semi-final. Do you know what I mean? They've still got a lot of brass from selling Hamer and Gyökeres. They've started getting some fans in ground now, as does happen when you start to play half decent. Mason Clark coming in from Peterborough, very, very good player. I'm expecting a big summer again from Coventry. I'm expecting him to add the final pieces to what is already a very, very good squad and then push on to try and get to top 2. Derby, ass. Hull. Sacking Rosenwald wasn't exactly the smartest thing I've ever seen. I just want to reiterate that he definitely failed, but I feel like sacking him were a little bit silly. But they have got a lot of money still from selling Keane Lewis-Potter. They've got some of the best players in the league in Philogene and Jacob Greaves. They'll not have enough for autos, I don't think, but they should be going after playoffs at least. Leeds. These will think they can just go waltzing. They'll think they should be up here in their own little tier. They'll waltz straight into top 2. They'll win league, actually. Realistically, they are going to be after autos. Because if they end up in here, then it's a guaranteed loss. Because they just cannot win in playoffs. They are cursed in playoffs, thankfully. But the best players are going to leave. Somerville, 100% is going. It'd have gone regardless, even if they got promoted. They've got Nonto, Ruta, Ampadu that might leave. Some of the really good players. Maybe a change in manager as well, because Fark is obviously crap, and I stand by that. Yeah, he's won this league twice, but he's also finished 20th in Premier League twice. So if that's what you want, then happy days, but he'll get you promoted and then send you straight back packing with 7 points. Like his stats with and without Buendia when he were at Norwich, are in eyesore. He relies so much on individual talent, like Somerville and Ruta, which is literally the tactics of Leeds. You just get the ball to them and see what can happen. Without Somerville or Ruta, potentially, no chance. I'm sorry, no chance. Somerville is one of the best players this league's seen in donkeys. Without him, you're realistically going to be down here, but they'll still think for the purpose of the video, they'll think that there should be an automatic chaser. Luton, they're going to try and land on the Chambambaline and bounce straight back up. They made a Championship super team when they got promoted. They were very, very smart with the business, very smart with the recruitment. Didn't spend loads and loads of money. I think they spent about 25 million quidish of the 100 that you get when they got promoted. Plus the parachute payments now. They're in a right spot. They are in a serious, serious position, Luton, these days. And Barker's not going to be there, obviously. But if they can keep some of the big lads like Adebayo, Morris, Ogbene, then there's no reason they can't be in top 2. And they're going to strengthen as well, obviously. They are just the perfect blueprint for a smaller team like a Luton or a Brentford to get promoted without spending shitloads of brass or spending money outside your means. They give hope to us all. You too can get promoted to Premier League and get slapped about every week. Every man's dream. Middlesbrough, decent squad, great manager in Carrick. I would say they'll be better than the last season. They'll be in and around a playoff push. Millwall could maybe push for it. They're a bit dodgy, Millwall, aren't they, to be honest? But I would stick them at the edge of ass. They are teetering out of the ass into playoffs, but I will put them in ass just for this. They tried changing the play style, didn't they, this season with Joe Edwards, tried to be a bit more dominant, a bit more front-footed on ball, keep ball up floor a bit. But that is just not... It's not what Millwall are. It's not what Millwall are about. They've got to play Neil Harris's way. Since he's come in, since they sat with Joe Edwards and got Neil Harris in, they'd have finished second based on the points that he got. Play that way. Get players in that can be optimal in this way of football. I know it's a big ask, but try and go for like a big signing, like a Kiefer Moore, someone who can play this type of football and finish. It'd be perfect for him. But unless they make them big signings, then it'll just be another like 13, 14 for Millwall. Norwich, they'll always fancy himself in this league to be there or thereabouts, and so would I, to be honest. I would put him in a playoff push. Oxford, no. Plymouth, no. Portsmouth will definitely stay up, but no. Preston, it'll be another season of just not being good enough slightly, so I'll put them in no as well. QPR, maybe if they keep Cifuentes, but to be honest, I can't see that happening, in all honesty, and the squad ain't really that good. No, they'll be nice as well, QPR. Sheffield United, they are not an auto chaser. They're not in here. Sheffield United are not in here. Sheffield United are barely in here. Sheffield United are not in top half. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Barnsley fan. I'm saying that because they're shit. Wednesday, we'll come back to them. Stoke, ass. Sunderland, playoffs. I'll be a bit pessimistic and say playoffs. To me, it is a matter of when, not if, with Sunderland and when they get promoted. Yeah, their ass fell out as season went on. They didn't have enough to get in playoffs in end. But they've got youngest squad in Championship by a mile. Some of the talent that they've got in this squad, some of the potential that they've got in this squad, is building up to eventually smash this league out of park. Not this season, maybe not next, maybe it'll be season after. But eventually, I think they will win this league, and then it'll be one of them where you don't see Sunderland again. They'll just go back to being what they were, just around 12th in Premier League, because that's where they should be, you could say. I don't like saying stuff like that. I'm going to clip that out. I'm not. Am I? Who knows? But the when is not this season. They've not got enough to be up here yet. If they splash loads of brass, because obviously they're going to have loads if they're bringing in 35,000 every week. But for now, a playoff chase. Swansea, ass. Watford, ass. West Brom, playoffs. Now, coming back to these, I did say that if Wednesday keep Roll and back him, then there will be a top sixer. And I stand by that. Roll has stayed. Whether Chansiri wants to add to the £150 million worth of debt that he's already got at this club, then who knows? Because obviously he hates all fans. So can you blame him? Probably not. I do as well. But I do think they've got an outside shot at playoffs. I do. And I'm still probably a biased, bitter dingle just because I ain't putting them up here. The deluded But yeah, I will put him in playoffs. Now, if I'm actually ranking where I think they'll finish and being realistic, Wednesday, no, I don't think they'd have enough. Baggies, no. Norwich, I'm taking them out. I'm taking Hull out. And I'm going to drop Leeds and Coventry to playoffs. So I've got Coventry, Middlesbrough, Sunderland and Leeds, my playoff teams. And then Burnley and Luton to bounce straight back up. As is the Premier League and the Championship gap now. Right, now Championship's out of the way. Let's have a look at the actual best league in the world and the best team in the world. Auto Chaser, straight away them Reds. Let's just be serious. Let's be serious for 1 minute. We are winning the league with 100 points for the third season in a row. New manager in, who's just been relegated with Cheltenham. So that's always a fantastic start, innit? But before he went to Cheltenham this season, they'd not even scored a goal. They were already down when he come in. He come in and then with the form that he had with the games that he played there, he'd have finished about 18th, I think. And their squad is obviously very crap. We should have a lot of money, like probably the biggest budget in this league, realistically, based on the sales from last season. Whether his owners have run off into woods again, who knows? But we should have a lot of brass to spend and to build around Connell and Phillips, who are two of the best players in this league, regardless. Autos. I need to explain myself. Birmingham, yeah, an obvious auto chaser as well. They'll throw some brass at it. They've got good owners. They'll get a Championship manager that's been here and done it before, like an Alex Neil or a Rowett. Complete opposite route to Barnsley. But these should still be two of the teams that are going after autos this season. Blackpool, they'll be around in this conversation. Without Karamoko, Dembele, they'll not be as good, obviously. I don't think they'll be good enough for autos, but they'll look to go one better and get it playoffs at least. And in all honesty, I'm not the biggest fan of their manager. So that is why I am putting him in autos, but playoffs should be where they are. Bolton, I'm still putting in autos. Like a lot of Bolton fans that I've seen are a bit pessimistic. They're not as excited for this season, thinking they can go and smash it like they have been for the last couple. A lot want Ian Evatt out. Because obviously he has failed this season again. You're not getting promoted with the talent levels that Bolton have got in their squad, then something is going wrong. And I don't know what the financial situation is. I don't know whether they're going to have to sell some of their best players. I don't know how it's going to work with them. But I'm not buying that a Bolton team is expectation is playoffs. In this league, this Bolton team, this Bolton squad, this Bolton fan base, this manager who is still good in Ian Evatt, I will say, even though he has failed, I still think he's a good gaffer. I still think there should be an auto chaser. And I'm going to stand by that. Because everybody gets a bit excited about this league. Like, everybody thinks League One's something that it's not. You look at the badges and you think, wow, there's some... is there? There's some alright teams here, fair enough. But you maybe get like 3 or 4 good teams a year, and the rest of it is just mediocre. There's nothing special here, realistically. Yeah, you can be a big team and get stuck down here forever. Portsmouth, Sunderland, Sheffield United spent 6 years here. Bolton, there's been a lot that's been here and done it for donkeys. But last season, we finished 6th. Where a postman picking team playing, I'm not even joking, the worst football I've ever seen a Barnsley team play in my life, and we still got playoffs. This league's crap. Bristol Rovers, ass. Burton, ass. Cambridge, ass. Charlton, playoffs. They had top scorer in the league in the finished bottom half. If you've got a top number 9 and an half-decent defence in this league, that is enough to have you in any sort of conversation near top. That's literally all you need. They've got the number 9. They need some defensive recruitment, but there's no way in my head Nathan Jones will have taken this job without promises that they're going to improve in summer. So I think they'll be in and around here. Ass. Huddersfield, they'll be an auto chaser as well. They'll be thinking they've got enough to bounce straight back up. Duff is a good manager in this league. They'll have enough money to attract a certain calibre of player that you can get at top end of League One. They're nailed on for top 6 in my mind. It's just a question of whether they can get over like the 90, 92, 94 mark to get in top 2, which is what you need to get out of here. I would say that Huddersfield are the team that I'm most certain about getting top 6. Don't mean I think they're getting top 2, but they're the team that I'm most certain about finishing top 6 next season, just because of the manager that they brought in. Leyton Orient, I think, are an outside chance at playoffs. They've kept the manager and Richie Wellens, which is a very important thing. Whether they can keep the best players is a completely different story, but I'd back them for an outside chance. Same as Lincoln. Why not? Same reason as Leyton Orient. If you can keep your manager and some of your best players, always got a chance you can build something in this league, like a Bristol Rovers or something like that. I feel like a little bit behind these two. But the ridiculous run that Lincoln went on at the end of last season is maybe something to come in next year. Obviously, they're going to lose some of the better loans, like Taylor, who's going back to Luton, somebody like that. But their atmosphere is ridiculous. Their home form's very good. They're always a very difficult team to beat, Lincoln. I always think that about them in this league. So I would have them as an outside chance. Mansfield, no. Northampton, no. Peterborough, probably for playoffs again. I don't think they would have enough for top 2 by the time they've sold half the squad, which is what always happens with their owner. They literally sell everybody every year. They bring in loads of young ones that then take time to adapt. They've never got the start, I'd say. They don't start well enough from year to year to carry it on or to get top 2. It feels like they're always chasing Peterborough. They're always chasing in that pack. Just for to spend the money right, which, who knows, to be honest. Reading, too soon. Next couple seasons, don't get me wrong, they'll be building something that can challenge at top. But for now, I just feel like they're not quite there. These lot, I might as well give them league already with where everybody's been acting. You need to calm down with Robin. You've got to calm down. Remember the squad that they've got relegated with. Just cast your mind back a month. Yeah, it's good business, the players that they're getting in. But they need another 10. Like, the squad that got relegated, without Johansson, who's the best player, if you want for him, they'd have conceded 150. This squad that's been relegated with Rotherham would get relegated again. They will go straight to League 2 if they'd have come down with the same squad. So, them bringing in 5 decent League 1 players is enough to probably have you at top of ass. But just for everyone bumming over them, I'm going to put them here. Don't get me wrong, they'll be in and around this conversation. They will finish in the top, like, 10, top 8, definitely. But everybody thinks they're going to run away with league just because they've signed 4 players before transfer window's opened. Calm down. Shrewsbury, no. Stevenage, no. Stockport, I think, will come up and have a good year. But maybe it's another case of, like, building something that can challenge for League One. Because eventually I do see them in Championship, definitely. But I don't think it'll be this year. I think it's a bit too soon. Wigan, I think, will be a playoff shout, to be honest. They're still in a bit of a mess, so tying your best players down to longer contracts is the best bit of business you can do, and that's exactly what they've done. Kept Sam Tickle, who's one of, if not the best keeper in the league. Kept Kerr as well. It's good business what they're doing. And history does not lie to you. Certain teams in different leagues in this country are always a menace whenever they're in it. Wigan have won League One 3 times in the last decade. They've won it 3 times. Not got promoted. They've won the thing 3 times. And last time they did it, they finished 20th season before. They were 1 place off getting relegated to League 2. And that season after went to 1 league. So there's nothing here that's making me write them off getting top 2. But I just think a realistic expectation will be playoffs. Wrexham, personally, I think the little wall here, they're definitely not going to be in automatics. Absolutely no chance. But there could be an outside chance at playoffs. I am interested to see what they'll do, like transfer business-wise, because they've been signing top League One players for years. Paul Mullin, Elliot Lee, they're top League One players that they've had in National League. So I'm definitely very interested to see what the transfer policy is going to be, how much brass they're going to spend. But the top end of League One, I think, is we see a drastic difference from there to like everything below it. Your bottom half of League One is basically League 2 anyway. Like, League 2 is basically top end at National League, do you know what I mean? It's all very similar until you get to, like, your playoff pushes in League 1. That's when you get a serious step up in quality, which is where I think Wrexham might struggle. And then Wickham. Load of money now. Don't mean you can spend it. We're billionaires. I think we're Richie Stones in EFL. Don't mean niche. Your owner might run off into Horizon. Now, to rank them, same as Championship for very early predictions. Wigan, don't think they'll be in there. Leyton Orient, no. Blackpool, no. Wrexham, no. Peterborough, no. Just. Charlton, no. Just. I think Lincoln might sneak in there. With Rotherham will not be top 2. Clip me. Bookmark me. Brand me with hot iron. Not bothered. They will not get top 2. Neither will. Bolton will be top playoffs, either 3rd or 4th. And so will Huddersfield. Meaning that Birmingham and Barnsley are 2 biggest teams in league, 2 best teams in league, 2 best fan bases in league. will be getting automatic promotion. League 2, now there's going to be a lot more teams in this because obviously 4 go up. And apart from like the glaringly obvious stuff, I'm not too familiar with this league. So bear with me. But Accrington Stanley, no. Wimbledon are probably back as an outsider for playoffs. Barrow, no. Bradford, I feel like just get an automatic auto chaser just because they're the biggest team in league by landslide. So people automatically think, all right, well, you should just be going up, shouldn't you? But to my knowledge, they are a little bit shit owners-wise, so maybe that takes them down here. But at the same time, they have signed Sarkovic from Stockport, so I'm going to stick them back up there again. Bromley, no chance. Carlisle, I would have as a playoff chaser. Even though they finished bottom at league in League 1 and couldn't buy a point for majority of the season, they're in a better state than some of the teams that's come down anyway. So, naturally, the squad's going to have a lot more experience playing against better players in League above. So, I would have them as a playoff chaser. Cheltenham, there's too much going on for me to see them being a chaser to go back up. Chesterfield, however, I think will be an automatic chaser. The momentum that they've got from pissing League away last season will have them in good stead. Like last couple of years, you look at the winners at National League. Stockport, who came up, went straight into playoffs and then got promoted. Wrexham, who went and got promoted straight away. When you absolutely walk National League, because the level really ain't that different from League 2 to National, I'd expect you to do well straight away. Colchester, no. Crewe, maybe an outsider for playoffs again, but they are going to lose some of the better players, as does happen when you are one of the small teams that gets in playoffs. You are going to lose some of your best players, so it'll be a tough ask to try and get in there again, but there's no stopping them from being in around there. Donny, Autos, Grant McCann, end of. Fleetwood, I can't see it again. There's too much going on, very similar to Cheltenham. Gillingham for playoffs. They've underperformed massively this year, but I don't think they'll have enough yet to get top 2, but I can see them at playoffs. Grimsby, no. I would like to see them get promoted, but no. Harrogate, no chance. MK Dons will be in and around Autos. It looks like they're keeping the gaffer. He's one of them that plays Pep's football at lower league. He's one of them ones in, even though he conceded 10 goals in playoffs. But over the course of the season, you'd expect him to pick enough points up to be at least your top 4 or 5 teams in this league. Morecambe, no. Newport, no. County, they've got to go for it this time. I think it will be playoffs, though. With the attacking power that Notts County have got, you'd expect him to be up there naturally. But they've still got a National League defence. So it's all right having a League 1 attack and a National League defence. The balance is just so off that you can never sustain anything. But you've got to just hope, at least from a Notts County perspective, that you're going to put some money into your defence. Because if you don't, then it's clueless, aren't you? You don't need any more goals. You've got to solidify it back to have any chance of being up and around it. Port Vale, I think, are in best position out of the 4 teams that's got relegated. They've got best manager out of 4 teams that's been relegated in Donkey and all. He's a good gaffer. They'll be up here or hereabouts. Salford, I mean, it always depends how much money that they're going to throw into it, doesn't it? Because they've taken a pub as far up football pyramid as they could possibly go. But then when an actual football team like Bury needs some assistance, obviously they just let that die. That's the class of the 92, everybody. Swindon, big club, but can't see it. Tranmere, big club, but can't see it. Walsall, big club again, but I can't see it, to be honest. I feel sorry for these 3. It's 3 League 1 teams that are just stuck here being mediocre constantly. But to rank them again, like I've done with Championship League 1, Wimbledon, no. Crewe, no. Salford, no. God, I hope no with Salford. And I think Gillingham will just miss out as well. So that'll be the top 7, I think, with MK Dons dropping out and Bradford dropping out into playoffs. So my autos will be Chesterfield, Donny and Port Vale with Bradford, Carlisle, Notts County and MK Dons in playoffs. And that is that. This is what I've settled on nice and early. Obviously, I'm going to change my mind as transfer window goes on and different things happen. But that is the very early look at next year's leagues and I think the big dogs will be in the 3 leagues. Let me know what you think as always. I'm sure you'll disagree if you don't support one of these teams. And thanks for watching again. England content soon. It's time. It is time. I will see you in a bit.